Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Deborah Wilcox painting videos. And I think I left off with you where I was finishing up Cowboy Remedy. I was working on his nose and I ran out of space. Anyway, so I'd like to show you right here. This is the finished video, not a video, finished painting, oil painting of Cowboy Remedy. It's an 11 by 14 canvas. It's called the gallery wrapped canvas, which means you paint the edges. It doesn't force you into framing. You could put a wire on this and hang it just the way it is. So how did I finish this boy up? So let's just talk about that a little bit. So what I ended up doing was I grabbed a fan brush. Fan brush is the shape of this brush. It's shaped in a fan. This is a boar bristle brush. It's stiff and it can carry a lot of nice paint. I used titanium white, and what I did is I came in here and just started building up his hide. And where it changed color, I go to my palette. Like there, I picked up the turquoise, the reflected light, and I started just building in his hide. Lots of paint, and building up his hide. And there's a lot of different colors here. It doesn't seem like it. I know I picked up the yellow ochre off my palette, and that came into here. And I know I picked up some of this kind of like a burnt purple that is reflected in here, right? Fan brush. Lots of paint, lots of strokes. You will see that I did do the same thing around his face. I came in here with white, but it's not pure white. There's no pure white. Very little pure white. It's reflecting all the colors around it. And so that's what I did there. If you look at his eye very closely, you can see a light in it, and that's called a reflected light. And it's just kind of like a dark blue that I brought in and lights up his eye, brings life to him. So I'd like to talk a little bit here about, you can find him on my website. And my website is deborahwilcox.com. And on my website are all my oil paintings. And I do a lot of different type of paintings. I'm not just a longhorn painter. I'm a portrait painter and a figurative works, like the piece behind me. And then the winter, when there's no flowers, I like to paint flowers. And I do paint a lot of Southwestern. I do a lot of shaman. If you go to my website, deborahwilcox.com, you can see all the different categories. But this guy is available, super easy to add to your art collection or to start an art collection. You just hit the add to your cart. I don't know if it says purchase or buy now, but it's got a button and it takes you right to the cart and payment, and you can pay very easily through PayPal, ships within the United States. May take a little longer during this time as getting shipping materials might not be as accessible to me like running out to the store. But I should be able to find it okay, and I will get it to you. So as far as my reference material for this piece, we talked about reference material in the last painting of Big Sky and Bison. And I told you that a friend of mine gave me permission to use her photograph. I didn't mention her name, and she's also a great realtor in our area, and her name is Janice Finster. This guy, he comes from the Schumacher Cattle Company out of Texas, and they have a Facebook presence, Schumacher Cattle LLC, and I just fell in love with their images. And right now they have a lot of spring babies, and they're so cute. And I love critters. But so what you do as an artist, if you're an artist and you're using photos off of Pinterest or somebody's photo, you want to go to that uh, or the owner of that image and get permission to use it. And most people, like the Schumachers, they were very gracious, as long as I gave them credit, which I'm more than happy to. And and as an artist, we try to use our own reference material, our own pictures, or on location. I'm not out on location as much, um, just because it's harder on me physically. But so I use a lot of photographs. Most studio artists do. But if it's not yours, you want to give permission. And then you also, if you're inspired by something and you're not doing exactly, you want to change it 30% and make it yours as well. So that's what I call reference material etiquette. And it's important because myself as an artist, the last thing I want to see is that somebody's replicated my painting that didn't get my permission to do it. And that's happened in the past. Not a happy situation. So here's our cowboy remedy. And like I said, he is available, easily purchased, easily shipped. I have another one from Schumacher Cattle Company called Cutie Pie that is also on my website. And anyway, you'll see the available pieces and you'll see lots and lots of other paintings that I have done. Normally, I am teaching classes and I am giving demonstrations, and I don't have the opportunity to do that. And most of my students are older young ladies right now. And so I want to do this for them. I want to keep them inspired. I want to uh, keep them going, keep them motivated. And so to my next video will be a work in progress. It seemed like there were some other things I wanted to talk to you about, which are that I have a Facebook presence also. It's on Facebook. Sorry, it's Deborah Wilcox Fine Art, and then this is Deborah Wilcox Painting Videos on YouTube. And so you could like this and share it and subscribe to it, and all those things are really wonderful. A little bit about me is I've been painting since I can remember at age 10. I started in acrylics, and I was given by a deceased member of my mother's church, gave, well, I guess the wife did, gave me an oil painting box that had all these old oils and brushes, and oh my goodness, I was hooked. I was just hooked smelling them, and once I started working with them, I never went back to acrylics. Oil painting is a living medium, and you can blend it, and you can constantly manipulate the color and the value and the texture, and I love it, obviously, and I would never go back. I've got extensive experience in pastels, which is a chalk. If you've never used pastels, it's the same pigments and intensity of color that we have in our paints, but it is it's more like a chalk type medium, and I like it. I love the brilliant colors. I love the way it on the Canson paper, but it is airborne. It's has like chalk dust, and so I know they have oil pastels, which probably would be a nice substitute for that. Also, in oil painting, as far as cleanup, I started out with everything was cleaned up with turpentine, and turpentine you really want to have ventilated, and your room really gets a little stinky, and but they have, and then I moved to OMS, odorless mineral spirits, and that was better. But now I just use it's a tub of like soap for brushes called Masters brush cleaner, and there is no odor, and it just works really well. I really like that. There's several other cleaning products, but those are some of the best ones. Um, I like my paints. I like several brands. I started in Winsor Newton. They have a great Winsor Newton uh, studio paint for like students, student grade, and I've used those in my classes for 25 years, and they're very similar to the professional paints that Winsor Newton has, but they're cheap, they're less expensive and a better way to start. And professional paints, I've used Winsor Newton extensively, but I have since moved to Rembrandt. And I just love the quality of the Rembrandt. I like Holbein too. There's all kinds of different brands, and they offer different things, but the Rembrandts have a nice high quality linseed oil that they're really creamy. They're easy to use. I use no mediums. Nothing wrong with using mediums. I'm into simplicity, and with having taught myself to paint, I really like to keep things simple. And for me, paints out of the tubes, brushes, that's simple. That's simplicity. And being that I have taught myself to paint, with my videos, I can show you the process, how to build a painting, and I'll talk about all that through each painting that I do. And we learn by our mistakes, and I've got a lifelong experience with mistakes. And so I can save you a lot of mistakes if within my classes and within my videos. And I just hope you're painting. I just hope that if you're a creative person, I don't care if it's pencil, watercolor, crayons, colored pencil, it doesn't matter. Creativity is a wonderful grounding thing that most artists have to do. It's like for me, if I'm not creating, if I'm not painting, I'm kind of restless. I'm like untethered. And I've gone through long periods of being untethered. And but this quarantine, I was bound and determined not to let that be one of those times. So I'm going to sign off here and go check out my website, DeborahWilcox.com, and take a peek at this boy. And I will see you soon. Gather up my stuff and let's see what we're going to work at. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Please be well.